Okay, class, we're going to learn today how to wire up a plug. So the first thing we're going to need to do is gather the materials necessary. First, of course, we're going to need our plug. Second thing we're going to need is we're going to need a Romex stripper, and we have two varieties here in this class. We have this variety here, and then we have this variety here. I'll demonstrate how to use those. Next, we're going to need our wire strippers. And lastly, we're going to need our Phillips bladed screwdriver. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our plug and we're going to actually remove the two screws from the underneath there. Okay, and you'll find those here and here. So they're going to go ahead and get removed. I've already taken those out. So we're just going to remove those to the side. And next we're going to open up our plug here. Now I'm going to get this close. I don't know if this is going to focus or not. Let's turn it over. But you're going to actually note here, let's see if we can get it to focus. You can kind of make this out. Right here it says white. Here it says black. And over here, let's see if we can make that out. You can kind of just see it. There we go. It says green. So this is going to tell us the different colors that go here. And we should know at this point in time that black represents hot, white represents neutral, and green represents ground. Now the type of wire we're going to be using is what's known as 14-2. Okay, 14 stands for the gauge of the wire, and 2 represents there's two conductors within this wire that are carrying electricity. So again, you'll notice it says that, well, it's upside down here, but basically that is right here on the this wire. Okay, so you're going to cut off a length of this, and then we're going to actually take and we're going to remove and we're going to strip off some of this Romex. Okay, so once again, this type of wire here has a white wire, that's our neutral. It has a black wire, that's our hot. And then the ground wire in this particular is, it's our bare wire. All right, now the goal is going to be to take this wire right here and put it into our plug here. So essentially what we need to do is this is going to get inserted in here, and then this is going to get closed up and it'll get pinched. We'll put the screws back in, and that's going to make our connection. Now, certainly, we need to make a physical connection between the wires that are inside this Romex and the actual plug itself. So the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to expose those wires. And I'm going to use this type of stripper here. This has a sharp piece right in here. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to put this in, you're going to squeeze it shut, and then effectively pull this out. Okay, and what that does is it strips down this part here, and that's going to allow us to pull back the paper and the Romex. We're going to take our the wire cutter part of our wire cutters, and we're going to cut that off. All right. Next up, most components that we have are going to have what's called a strip gauge on it, and in this particular plug, the strip gauge is right here. So this is going to tell us how much of the wire we want to expose from that. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up, and I want to strip off basically that much. Generally speaking, we're talking about a 1/2 inch to about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and line this all up here. We're going to use my wire strippers. We're going to pull that out, and we then are going to actually put this in. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my white. We're going to take off the same amount there. Okay. All right. Next up, we're going to show how to put this in the plug. Okay, so what we've done here, from before, we remember that the white goes on this side, the black goes on this side, and then green or ground goes on this side right here. So what I've done is I've inserted these in, I've tightened down our screws, so these should now, I should be able to pull on this and that should not be able to come out. Okay, the next thing to do is to kind of tighten this up. Now, I want to make sure that this is not exposed here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that Romex back in this way, and then this should pinch tightly against that. That's called strain relief. That's going to help keep this from being pulled out. So I'm going to go ahead and essentially put my 2 screws in here, and that's going to take care of wiring up my plug.